Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 16 of What If Naruto was created from the God Tree. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this with your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was treated like Gaara over on Anime King 2, and enjoy that guys. And over in Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was a genius prodigy with a lost bloodline. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And yeah, remember for anyone this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button. I indeed have 3 channels. Links will be down in the description for the other 2, so go ahead and check them out guys. And remember for new to go ahead and click that red subscribe button to become part of the Anime King family, and also turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say without wasting any more time, we get right into this. Start the intro guys. So the last time we left off, Gorin created 5 crystal clones as they start to take care of the acolytes, along with Karen as well. As Naruto stepped forward, his face masked as he told Kakashi that he didn't mean them any harm. So with that, he turned his gaze towards Hidan, who tried to attack him, but Naruto turned Hidan into a pink cushion within seconds, creating black rods and hitting him all over. Hidan didn't stand a chance. In the end, Gorin captured his entire head in an ice crystal as Naruto took it and sent it away in a different dimension. He then started to walk away as Mito called out. For a moment there, it almost seemed like she apologized afterwards for bothering them, thanking them for helping them against the enemy. As Naruto asked why she was crying with his mask on, she just told him that he reminded her of someone. The group left soon afterwards. As Kakashi had saw something though, he flinched. It was so subtle that if he didn't have the strength then he would not see it. He reported back to the Hokage what he saw. As Hiruzen was curious about this, if this was true, he relayed back that information to Jiraiya as a few months passed. With the few months that passed by, Konoha Chuunin exams were coming around as he was going to be held at Konoha this year. Mito found herself a little stalker. A guy with white hair and purple eyes kept on staring at her. As she had enough, as he introduced himself, he said that his name was Suigetsu, and he was here to kill her. Sasuke and Hinata didn't like that, but he explained why, because her brother killed his brother main jutsu at Chuunin exams at Kirin, and he was here to get revenge. As she didn't understand what did he want, seeing that Naruto was not here, he said that family still always care about each other, so he is gonna kill her as revenge for what happened to his older brother. Mito told him to try his best, but she was not going to go down easy. So with that, they went through the second phase of the tournament, but nothing really spectacular happened. They faced off against each other in the preliminaries, but she never get to fight Suigetsu, but in the end, it turns out that she will fight him at the finals. Something that he was praying for, as he was happy for that. While that was going on, Orochimaru was plotting. As he was plotting really big. Orochimaru was after several things within Konoha, but one of them was Mito, the Kyuubi inside of her that be, as he wanted to harness that energy for something that he was working on, unknowing that he was making a big, terrible mistake. While that was going on, Jiraiya found Naruto. How did he do it though? As he's been moving around the towns, after hearing the information from Sarutobi, Naruto has been working for several people. He never really gave them his real name, but Jiraiya caught on when Naruto messed up once, and gave them a name twice, and he used that to track him. Jiraiya tried to hold on to Naruto, but Naruto sent him through a dimension as he ended up back in Konoha. Jiraiya was confused as he was in the land of fire, although he was a distance away as he was confused how did he get here. it seems that Naruto teleported him. With that, Naruto and group head toward the stand, as the Chuunin exams are currently happening. Naruto gathers some information. He was here to look for the newest issue of the bingo book. Bounty Nin's collection was a bit easier than any other work, seeing that he could easily capture them. But it turns out that problem was going to strike Konoha. Jiraiya was surprised that his source caught on Naruto once again that easily. He thought it was a trap, so he came there cautiously. But from what he's seen so far, Naruto does not show the capability of killing anyone, especially him. Upon arriving there, Naruto told him that he'd gather some information about Orochimaru, as it turns out that he was working with the Kazekage to see the downfall of Konoha. As Jiraiya asked him how he knew that, as Naruto did not tell him how exactly they knew, but he knew that Orochimaru had another group backing him, as he wasn't sure which group it was. So he told him to protect Konoha. Jiraiya wanted Naruto to come back. He went as far as trying to subdue Naruto, but that wasn't possible, it seems, because when he placed a seal on Naruto, the seal started to glow ominously before it literally broke off him like it was not even there. Jiraiya was shocked at this display of power. He always knew that Naruto was strong, but how strong exactly has he become? The possibility frightened Jiraiya, but yet still Naruto showed no intention of attacking Konoha. None at all, as he just flew off, leaving Jiraiya with this information that was quite dangerous and also tricky to use. Given that Naruto was a missing name, it would be rather tricky to use. Damn it, he thought to himself. So yeah guys, that's basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the place, check for yourself, and yeah. What do you say without further ado, we jump right into this new episode. Let's get into it guys. Mito was currently sitting on top of her roof. She wasn't really doing anything, she was just sitting there, calm and collected. Once, she had woken up late in the night and she didn't find her brother. She had sensed his chakra on top of the roof, so she had made her way. She was a bit young back then, as she had fallen asleep in his arms. When she asked him what he was doing up here, he just said he liked the serenity at night. She had felt the most comfortable with him. She had woke up next morning in her bed. She really missed her brother. She wanted him to be here to see her participate in Chuunin exams. She wanted him to be here to see how much he has grown. But no matter how hard she prayed to Kami, begging, pleading for any hope, any signs that her brother would return, there was nothing. He was just... She lowered her head as she sat on the roof. The Chuunin exam finals would be starting very soon. She didn't feel all that psyched. Yes, her mother would be there. Mikoto would be there, uncle would be there. Itachi would be there as well. Several people that she knew, several people that care about her. They will all be there to watch her participate. But knowing that he was not here, it just... She felt sad. But she knew that she wasn't the only one. So she tried to console her feelings as much as possible so people would not worry about her. But it was very hard. Incredibly hard to do so. She sighed. Meanwhile that was going on at the Hokage's office. Hiruzen was in deep thought. So far Jiraiya has not found anything regarding what Naruto said. This was bad. Orochimaru planned to attack the village along with the Sand. Knowing this, Hiruzen had the advantage, because they did not know that he knew. But the thing was, Naruto was a missing name. While, despite what he did, Hiruzen and Itachi was the only one that truly knew, and Hiruzen trusted his judgment. He also told Jiraiya not to inform Tsunade and Mito of this. It would just hurt them even more knowing that he was found but he was still not here. That they still could not make him return. That would just hurt them more than before. So he had Jiraiya kept the information to himself, which he did. But the thing was, Jiraiya was trying to find exactly who and Orochimaru was working together to see the downfall of Konoha. But so far nothing. The Sand was acting a bit cagey by themselves. As Hiruzen noticed that it hasn't just started. It has been happening over the past few months. They were secluding themselves more and more. So Hiruzen knew that Naruto was telling the truth. If only he could just talk to Naruto. But that didn't seem like it was going to happen anytime soon. But still, Konoha had the advantage, and Hiruzen was going to make sure it stayed that way. He and the councils already spoke. The members of the council was angry. They were rather angry, hearing that Raza would dare to betray them like this. Especially to join with someone like Orochimaru. They were furious, as Hiruzen was the one that was not making them take actions right now. Hiruzen knew that if he spoke to Raza about this might make Orochimaru change his plans. And then they would be unaware of when Konoha was going to be invaded. So it's better to get this over with. That is why he's going to make sure everything is well set up for the Chuunin exam finals. And he's going to do something that he should have done a long time ago. End his former student life. Once and for all. He was going to kill Orochimaru. Remove his stain from the earth. The only reason why Orochimaru was alive was because he failed all those years ago. Because of his love for the boy. He was his prized student, his pride and joy. And yet, the things that he did. But no more. It was time that he end him once and for all. Time skip. As Naruto and the girls were near the land of fire, they will be heading to the Chuunin exams. Well, not Naruto. Being so close to Konoha, being so close to much Shinobis, would affect him in a violent way. But the girls were gonna go though, as he gave them specific order to watch out for Mito, and Kushina as well. They had a way of contacting him if things went beyond the point that they could not control. Naruto was sure that Konoha would be able to come out on top, and with the girls' help, he had trained them himself over the past few years. So he had no doubt that he would be a big help in the attack that was about to come. Not to mention Karen and Kushina also possessed the chakra chains. So if they did use Gaara, that boy against the village, he would be easily subdued. Naruto just hoped that Hiruzen did not take this warning lightly, and made sure to make proper precaution just in case. But if anything went too overboard, the girls knew how to contact him. He just felt sad that he couldn't go himself. The closer he got to the village, the more the necklace burned. At the moment he was currently sleeping. As he was in a tree, his back leaned against it, his eyes were closed. Once again he found himself in this strange dimension. He came face to face with the Sage of Six Paths, Hagoromo. Since that time when Kaguya had interrupted their little conversation, he's not seen him. "You're back," said Naruto. "Yes. And I've made sure to make precautions so that my mother will not interfere this time." Naruto glanced around, as he didn't feel the power of Kaguya. "She's getting stronger," said Naruto. "Outside, I can feel her. Day by day, her power is saturating the place stronger and stronger. The seal is weakened. You are the key to breaking the seal. That time when you release your power, it chipped away at the seal. And she is using her power to overpower it. It's only a matter of time before it completely shatters. You will have to be the one to stop her. Because without you, I doubt that any other human on this planet would be able to stand in her way." "But I can't," said Naruto. "I can't fight her. I want to. I know that I want to, but I know it's against your very nature to fight her." As Hagoromo stepped forward, "You, as I told you before, you were created from the God Tree. A sapling that never got destroyed by me or my sons. Throughout all the ages you survived, you sapped chakra from all over the planet. All chakra resides inside of you for the past 1,000 years, making you what you are right now. But you are still not complete." "She told me that as well," said Naruto. "What does that mean?" "Your power needs a catalyst to be formed. I'm afraid that something I locked away a long time ago has returned to this plane of existence." "What do you mean?" "It's called the Gedo statue. The beast that you saw in your nightmares. As I said, it was a Jobe. You remember?" "Yes," said Naruto. "I stripped its power and sealed them into 9 animals that created. As you can tell by the Bijus." Naruto nodded. "I locked it away on the moon, but someone has summoned it back to the earth. Someone planned to recreate the Jobe." "Who?" said Naruto. "I'm afraid I don't have complete grasp over the world of the living to know. I am only connected to the world through you. because you have all chakra inside of you, allowing me to feel around a bit. But my mother, she's still alive, and she still has great control over this world, which I do not have. So these people need to be stopped, because if they succeed in recreate the Jubei, that means Mother will return once again. Wait, said Naruto. To get the Jubei, they will have to take the 9 tails out of my sister. Well, it doesn't matter. That's not gonna happen. I'll kill them all, said Naruto. First, you tell me how I can go around people. Tell me how I can be around them without feeling the urge to suck their chakra dry. My boy, I know that you have been through a lot, said Hagoromo. The very reason of your creation was to take back your chakra. It all belonged to you in the beginning, or should I say the Shinju, the God Tree. So your very nature is to take it back from all of them. It's getting harder the more you go on, isn't it? Yes, difficult for me to control, especially when I'm around a large group of people with chakra. I know. The only way to stop this is for you to become complete. And that is by fusing with the Gedo statue. I believe that might be the only way. You believe or you know, said Naruto. I'm afraid that this has never happened before, so I'm not entirely sure. But I believe this might be the only way to satisfy your urges of becoming one. But if you do that, it will be a struggle between your mind and the mind of the Shinju. And you will have to succeed, because if you fail, all life will be lost. I know this is a difficult task to place on your shoulders. I know that you never asked for any of this. But I'm afraid this is the only way to stop my mother. Please, I need your help. Hagoromo begged Naruto, as there was no one else that can do this. But if he took on this goal right now, there could be a chance that he would fail. And if he did fail, the world, everything would come to an end. Naruto clenched his fists. I've already lost so much. I won't lose anything else. Where do I find this Gedo statue, said Naruto. No, that is where the problem lies, Hagoromo said. It is weak at the moment. Without the power of the tail beasts, it is weak. It will not be able to fight you back completely. I doubt that it will allow itself to be found. In the beginning, you resonated with the Gedo statue. But now, it's seen your power. It knows how strong you are. So I doubt it will let you find it that easily. Naruto scoffed at that more inconvenience. This person who wants to bring back the Jubei, are they connected to you? I feel like they're connected to my mother, but I'm not sure when she could have done something or left behind something in our battle. It doesn't matter, said Naruto. I'll find this thing. And once I do, all I have to do is fuse with it, right? And once I win, I can take over. Correct, Hagoromo said. Fine then, said Naruto. I wish you all the luck. If there's anything else you need, please focus. And you will be able to contact me, Hagoromo said. Yeah, said Naruto as he walked away, leaving the escape. Hagoromo glanced up. I will not allow you to win, mother. I will not allow you to end the human race. Meanwhile, that was going on a far distance away. A woman appeared on the earth as her feet touched the ground. This woman was none other than Kaguya herself. She looked at her hands as they were see-through. Her power has grown so strong that she could literally make contact with the earth right now. She could not really harm anyone, but she could literally walk on the earth. When she had spoken to Zetsu back then, it only lasted for a few seconds, but now she could feel herself grounded. She smiled. The seal would not last for much longer. She could feel something coming, something big that would allow her to emerge. Never she thought that something like this might happen, but it has, and Naruto will be the one to free her, and then stand by her side as her husband, as they retake all their chakra from this world. Once he become perfect, once he fused with the Gedo statue, he will realize that he served her, that he belonged to her. She smiled to herself, as her cheeks became a bit pink as she thought about him. A radiant smile on her face, her body floated up to the heavens, and then vanished, leaving an imprint on the ground where she stood. Time skip. Both Karin and Gorin were currently in the crowd. The place was bustling with activities. There were a lot of people around, like a lot. Karin, on the other hand, could feel it. Konoha was ready, as she could feel all the chakra signatures of the shinobis, hidden in plain sight, ready to move out. They were also amongst the crowd. Both girls had suppressed their chakras so they would not set off alarm bells. She could also feel the content from the shinobis around. It seems like the enemy shinobis were in the crowd here. With her sensor ability, it would be easy. Hiruzen had informed all the Jounins and Chuunins. He had set up precautions. At the moment though, Hiruzen sat in her boots, playing kindly with Raza. Well, he thought it was Raza under the veil. As the man had spoke like him, the man had acted like him. He just sat down, his face was hidden. It got Hiruzen suspicious. Jiraiya was cloaking a genjutsu on top of the roof. As everything was set up perfectly to end this former student once and for all. This might cause problem between the Stan and Konoha, but it is a risk that he was willing to take to end this once and for all so that Konoha may prosper. Down below, the Genins were all called. Hiruzen got up as he gave a speech. After which, the first two selections started their fight. As the rest of them made their way back up, Suigetsu was glaring at Mito. Ever since he found out that she was the sister of that guy that killed his brother, he had vowed his revenge, and he would not stop until she was dead. He had two blades on his back, as they were crisscross. The Mizukage was also here as well, as Yagra sat in the Kage's boot beside Hiruzen. Yagra had been informed by Hiruzen about what is about to happen, because of the truce between them, and because of Naruto saving him and his people from what was going to happen all those years ago. Yagra had vowed to lend his support and his aid as a fellow Kage to another, because it was one of Hiruzen's shinobi why he was still alive in the first place, as he doubted that he could have lived with himself after he had butchered all the people of his village because of their bloodline. Gorin glanced over as she looked towards Karin, who was rather sad. She placed a hand on her shoulder. "Are you okay?" "I just don't like that he can't come and visit them himself." "You know why he can't. You know what will happen." "I know, but it just hurt a lot. Of all the things that he's done for us, and he's always has to suffer. He always had to put himself last. Always have to give up everything just in case. Because of the way he was just created. I don't like that. I wish there is something that we can do." Gorin sighed. Karin had become like a sister to her, and she didn't like to see her sad. "Cheer up," she said. "I know what you're saying. He means everything to me. He saved me from a life of, well, hell, if I must say. And I know what you mean. I feel really horrible that we can't help him, but there must be something. We must be able to find something in the future that can help him. There must be something out there, and we will not stop trying until we help him reunite with his family. He deserves it after all the good that he's done." "Yeah, you're right. But remember, he gave us an order what to do." As both girls glanced over as they saw, Kushina was in the crowd. She sat beside Mikoto. The woman might look happy, but Karin could feel it. It was an underlying sad tone. Not towards the stadium or anything, but regarding, well, her son. Ever since he left, a part of her had just remained sad, and it had never fully cheered back up. She loved their daughter. She loved her with all of her heart, but she just missed Naruto, and she couldn't stop missing him. In the stands also sat Itachi Uchiha, clan head of the Uchiha clan rather calmly. Uncle was there as well, as she sat beside Kushina. She also put on a smile on her face. But the one person that she wanted to be here was not here either, and she couldn't really do anything about it, which is what she really hated. So the match went off, as Konoha had the most participants in the matches. The time finally came, as Suigetsu was pumped. He looked towards Mito as he made his way down there. It was finally time for him to have his revenge. Yagura sighed as he looked towards Suigetsu. He knew that Meinjutsu was his brother and that Suigetsu had harbored a great hate for Naruto ever since his brother was taken away from him. And that girl down there was a sister of Naruto. So this was not gonna be a kind match. He feared to himself, but he didn't say anything about it. As Harrison and Kazakage looked down there, Kushina gave her daughter a smile when their eyes met. On top of Mito's head was Sahara, as she brought the small fox along with her. Sahara was still a mystery. Mito didn't know how she possessed that power. Sahara didn't know either. But Sahara was one of her closest friends as well. Despite not being entirely human, she was one of her closest friends. And she was the only one that could talk to her, which made their bond more special. "Are you ready to die?" Sugetsu asked. "I'm afraid I can't do that," said Mito. "There's too much I have to do." Sugetsu scoffed. The proctor told him to begin, as the both of them moved. Mito pulled two kunai as Sugetsu pulled his blades. He aimed directly for her throat, but she slipped under the cut before she threw her kunai towards the back of his head. He tilted his head as the kunai passed him. He rushed towards her. He started to clash blades with her kunai. He was vicious, a sharp tooth showing as he slashed down hard, to the point where her kunai started to tremble. She jumped away from him. He flashed through hand sign, water style, water bullet, after stabbing both blades in the ground. Mito dodged the water bullet by an inch. He appeared in front of her and drive his blades down towards her chest. But Mito twisted herself at the last moment. Her shirt got slashed. But luckily, she twisted herself as the blade stuck in the ground. She then slammed her foot in his chest, throwing him back as he flipped and landed. He smirked to himself because he had something up his sleeve. He was just waiting for the perfect moment. They started to clash once again. It seems like in Kinjutsu, with the blades. They seemed evenly matched even though Mito was only using kunais. Kushina watched her daughter with an analytic gaze. Every strike, every blow. Mito was holding back quite a lot, as Sugetsu was able to land a brutal punch across her face after she had deflected his left blade. He then followed up and landed a punch as she collapsed down to the ground. He rushed towards her as he drive the sword forward, but she twirled and knocked it out of his hand with a kick, surprising him. It was then that she turned and drive her fist forward, but to her shock her hand burst through his stomach and came through his back. He smirked. "I got you," he said. He then raised both hands and slammed them in the side of her face, causing her to step back dizzy. He then started to pump his hand full of water before he charged and smashed it in her. The fist was so large that it enveloped her. Her body was thrown as she smashed into the wall and coughed up blood. She collapsed down to the ground. Sugetsu pulled his blades as she got up. "Now you die!" he thrust forward, only for his blade to be stopped by a chain, inches away from her face. He tried to push it, but he could not. "What? Damn it!" he cursed. Her chain then wrapped around his palm. He tried to solidify his arm, but to his shock he could not. What is this? As he could not, she was suppressing his chakra in his arm. She didn't move as she yanked him with a chain. His body smashed into the wall. She then pulled out 3 kunais out of her pouch as she held on to them protectively. Before she tossed them towards him, he allowed them to pass right through him. He smirked. "Can't you see? Attacks like those won't work on me, and I won't let your chain touch me again. I knew that my brother killed your brother, but I can't let you kill me," she said. As she went through hand sign, "And you think you can stop me?" "I saw what you did in the exam, and I asked my sensei about you. He told me about you, exactly what you can do, because he saw your brother fought before. That is why." Sugetsu then heard something as he turned. All the kunais had strange tags on them. What the hell? "Release!" Sugetsu was assaulted by electricity. He cried out in agonizing pain. Electricity streamed out of the tags and ripped his body a new one. He collapsed on the ground smoking, as he could barely move. "What did you do?" "You should have done more research on me, and know that the Uzumakis are excellent in sealing." And that was nothing, she said. As Sugetsu collapsed, as people started to applaud her, despite some of them being neutral with her, some of them loved her, as she just fought brilliantly, while some of them just remained quiet. The next match was Hinata as she went down there to face off against Akumo Ninja. This match didn't last long. The guy was large, but the thing was, he just used brute strength. The moment Hinata got him down to the Jayugen stance, when she started to lash them out, he stood no chance. As Mito made her way back up, she was fine, and not to mention she was being healed already from the inside. The fox chakra healing her. Up to this point she has not even met the fox. The seal was well tightened and secured. She has never been pushed to that limit for her to go that angry before. Yes, she had raged out a lot of time before, but she was able to keep herself in check. Not to mention Sahara always kept her in check. Speaking of Sahara, it turns out that she didn't even need her for that match. Well, Sahara jumped out of her shirt. When Suigetsu had made contact with her, the kicks and punches, Sahara used her tail. Sahara was able to use a strange form of chakra to solidify her tail, to make it tough, so Mito barely felt the hits. That's why Sahara dropped her tail around her chest and her stomach when Suigetsu went on the offensive. Sahara jumped out and landed on her shoulder as she started to lick her face. "Are you alright?" she asked. "Well, thanks to you. Those hits barely hurt," as she patted her on the head. Hinata won her match and came back up. A few bruises, nothing more. Sasuke was next as he made his way down there. Gaara was already foaming to kill someone, as the guy was really and truly unstable, with years of training from his brother and his mother as well. Sasuke was a lot faster and stronger, as Gaara was surprised at his speed. Sasuke had prepared for this, knowing that he had to get by the sand. His three totem Sharingan activated, as he clashed with Gaara violently. He performed a fire technique that crystallized the sand immediately. He then broke through it with a special technique that Kakashi taught him, the lightning blade, as he tore right through it. He slammed his hand to Gaara's shoulder, and things went chaotic as Gaara screamed. It was then that Orochimaru gave the signal. Immediately feathers started to fall, but that was when Kunai flashed through hand sign. She slammed her hand down as he had prepared for all precautions just in case. Several seals, thanks to Kushina in the area, started to emit chakra and cancel the genjutsu. It was then that the people were told to move. The civilians panicking rushed down the path. It was then that Sound and Shan Shinobi started to leap up, but Konoha Shinobi started to beat them back down as chaos ensued. Temari and Conqueror jumped down towards Gaara and grabbed onto him, as Kushina chased after them, knowing exactly what they wanted to do. She would not allow them to release Shikaku and attack the village. Mito and the others regrouped as they started to spread. Orochimaru was surprised that they knew of his plan. The Kage boot exploded in smoke as Hiruzen jumped onto the roof. But something happened in that smoke. Edo Tensei! The third one failed because Minato's soul was taken by Shinigami. But the first and second one, well, the first and second Hokage emerged from them. Hiruzen was alarmed when, instead of the Kazekage leaping on the roof, it was the first and second Hokage. It was then that Orochimaru shot to the other side, fleeing from the place. Hiruzen had no time to attack him because he was forced to face off against the first and second, who were hell-bent on killing him. No emotion in your eyes. Jiraiya leaped to help him, but massive snakes burst down the wall. He cursed, damn it, summoning jutsu as he summoned Gamabunta. He had no time to waste. Meanwhile that was going on, the Genins were being swamped. Sound and Sand ninjas attacking from left to right. Crystal release. Jade Crystal. Spears, a voice said. Shikamaru was surprised, as the Sound Shinobi behind him was stabbed clean through. He turned as he saw a pink crystal protruding through the man. Choji jumped toward Shikamaru's aid. "Choji, behind you!" he called out. But a chain gripped the two Sound Shinobis and yanked them down, slamming them into the Sand Shinobis. "Who are you two?" asked Shikamaru, as he's never seen these girls before, and they weren't wearing a headband. "Just think of us as help," they said that smile, before they move off in a burst of speed. They appear back down in the arena. "I'll go after Kushina and the Sand Boy. You protect Mito, okay?" said Goren, as Karen nodded as they split, as Goren chased after where Kushina went. It was then that the snake saw Nin smirk a distance away. Everything was going perfectly. He then shot forward behind Goren. Meanwhile, the Sound 4 came down, followed by Kimaru, as he was here as well, followed by Kabuto. Orochimaru wanted several things from Konoha. Yes, he was here to destroy Konoha, but not entirely. There were several things that he wanted first, as he was working on something big. So while the ninjas were being occupied by the Sound and Sand forces, it was then that Mito was spotted several children running away from a guy with strange weapons in his arms. She rushed after them to save them, thinking that they might be academy students in trouble. When she rounded the corner though, as she ran down the pathway, as she made her way leaping, she arrived in front of the forest, near Training Ground 19. It was then that the children all poof, revealing the Sound 4. Mito stepped back confused. What's going on? She's the first target. Let's not waste much time, said Kimimaro. I'll go after the other ones. You guys have 1 minute, he said. He was not giving them any extra time. You know what will happen if you fail. The four of them looked a bit nervous. But as Kimimaro flashed away, the Sound 4 moved. Mito released her chains, but before they could reach her, a faster chain deflected all of them to the side. Mito turned as someone landed beside her. That right here. She's seen that here before. As she looked at the woman posture and covered her face with her hand. You. It's also the same chakra as well. It's you, isn't it? We don't have time to talk. As the Sound 4 moved towards them once again as the battle started. Meanwhile, that was going on. As Gorin was moving behind Kushina as fast as she could. As Kushina was incredibly fast. She had a red blade, as she was holding on to it rather tightly. As Naruto has told her about that, she called it the Red Queen. It was a blade that she used in her old days as the Red Hot Habanero. A rather powerful blade, with a lot of seals on it that can do amazing things. At the moment though, she came to a stop as Sansalbin stopped as well. Gar was going critical. Kushina couldn't allow that though as she extended her chains. The two of them tried to block it from reaching her brother, but they were not successful as they were just knocked away. The chains being really resilient. Tamar pulled her fan and swinged it a massive gust, decimating where Kushina stood, forcing her to jump back, but Gar was yanked as his face smashed through a branch, causing him to get more and more angry. He tried to release his power, but these damn chains were preventing him from doing that as he started screaming in frustration. It was then that someone landed down and gave him a swift chop to the back of the head. Both Temari and Konku returned as they looked towards the man that stood there, his golden eyes looking at them gleefully. Orochimaru, said Kushina. Surprised that he was here, she thought that he was back there facing off against the third. And Jiraiya. Orochimaru chuckled. Well, even though somehow Konoha figured out my plan, it doesn't matter. Things are going more better than I thought. You bastard, said Conqueror as he sent out his puppets. Orochimaru dismantled him within seconds. Conqueror received a nasty gash across his chest from the Kusanagi blade before he was thrown away. Tamar swung her fan, but Orochimaru disappeared in a burst of speed and appeared behind her. He delivered 2 brutal hits to her back, forcing her down to the ground. He then turned his sights on Kushina. I'm afraid I don't have much time to waste. He leaped forward only for a massive crystal spike to emerge from the ground, stopping him as he had to jump back. His eyes narrowed as he looked towards the crystal. He then smirked. I was wondering who you were. Orochimaru said a smile on his face. Kushina narrowed her gaze. Who are you, she said. I'm a friend, don't worry. A friend? As Kushina did not know this woman, but she flashed 2 hand sign, crystal style, as she slammed both hands on the ground. Orochimaru watched as massive crystals emerged to skewer him, but he leaped away. He didn't have much time, he had to finish this quickly. He went through hand signs as a snake came from the ground. The snake swallowed Gaara and took him away. Kushina's chains came out of her body like a porcupine. This was bad. She never expected to fight Orochimaru. And she didn't know how strong this girl was, but this was bad. Really bad. Meanwhile that was going on, Kimimaro found himself at a disadvantage. While he gave orders to the Sound 4 and told him to hurry up, he found himself in a battle that he was finding impossible as he faced off against Itachi Uchiha. As he was fighting, it seems like he wasn't even trying as Itachi was knocking him around like he was nothing, forcing him to push himself to use the curse mark. He had to push himself straight up to level 2 because level 1 would not do anything. He started to gain more grounds and speed on Itachi, but Itachi showed him why he was a prodigy Uchiha as he activated those remarkable eyes. Amaterasu. Black flames consumed his very being. Kimimaro started screaming in anguish and agony as he was being burned alive. Itachi left him to die right there and then as he moved off, like he was nothing. While Kimimaro was strong, the difference between their power was kind of great. It's not like Itachi was the ordinary person after all. So with that, he moved on to assist which way he can. Meanwhile that was going on, Jirobo was caught in the mouth of Sahara. She had grown to the size of a massive horse. She bit into him with such ferocity as Jirobo screamed as he punched right at her face. But the fox shook him from left to right, tearing into his flesh, gouging out a huge part of his side as he collapsed on the ground. She then raised her tail and brought it down. The tip of her tail became like a spear as she plunged it through his face. The rest of the Sound Four was not going so well either. They were forced to use the level 2 curse mark, while they had inflicted serious wounds on Karin and also Mito as well. Mito was healing, and not to mention Karin let her bite her when she got stabbed by the Kimimaro guy right through the stomach to sedate her because, well, she was a Jinchuriki, she wouldn't die that easily. But after the bite, her wound had healed rather easily. And not to mention they had Sahara. The two girls moved as Sahara released a beam. Teiwaya threw her dokis in a way, but the three of them were cut right through. Her eyes went wide as she was consumed in the blast. What the hell is this thing? Kimimaro said as he fired several arrows. Three of them stabbed into Sahara as she cried out in pain. But her pain turned to rage as she pounced towards the boy. It was then that Seikon and Ukon both jumped towards her, but Karin blocked them. It was then that she saw something strange on the ground. A snake. The snake opened its mouth to show a sheet. A blade sheet. But that was no normal sheet. It was her mother's sheet. For the Red Queen. Her eyes widened as she rushed after the snake that slipped her away. Neither Fox or Girl noticing that she rushed off because they were busy fighting. Kimimaro was locked in a battle with a massive, horse-sized fox as he clashed with it, but it didn't seem like he was gonna win. And Karin was busy taking on Seikon and Ukon at the same time. While they were strong, her chains were a big advantage for her. Meanwhile that was going on, Harrison was finding it difficult to keep up. Years of paperwork, Hokage work, had took a strain on his body. Facing the first and the second, he was finding it hard to keep up anymore. He's gonna have to do something drastic to end this once and for all. And that will include giving up his life. Meanwhile, when Mito finally arrived in the scene, what she saw frightened her. "Mom!" she screamed out. Kushina was impaled by the Kusanagi blade. Orochimaru standing in front of her. Orochimaru had two crystal pierced through his chest from the back by Guren. As he was smirking even though he impaled Kushina by the Kusanagi blade, he ripped it out of Kushina. As he opened his mouth as another Orochimaru jumped out, he grabbed his blade and flipped away. Kushina collapsed down to the ground in pain. Mito rushed forward as she threw a wind-style jutsu towards Orochimaru. Her eyes started to turn red in rage as she attacked him. Orochimaru on the other hand was rather pissed off. He never knew that this damn woman had gotten so strong, and the other one with the crystal released bloodline. This was the second time he was forced to change body, but he finally managed to stab her. Soon enough, the poison of the Kusanagi will course through her veins. Her Uzumaki vitality and her healing rate will try to fight it off, but she will be too weak to completely fight anymore. And that was all the advantage that he needed. This battle was as good as over. They were still not strong enough. He was a Sannin. He was Orochimaru the Sannin. These mere women could not defeat him, and his plan worked. Kushina had dropped her sheet when she started to fight. As her blade was currently embedded in a tree, he had used a snake to send it back towards her daughter. For her to come, and she came right towards him alone as well. This made things even more bitter. Fearing that Hiruzen would do something stupid, he decided to recall the Dotenses. While Hiruzen was fighting, the first and the second, they stopped, before Coffin rose up behind them as they came back in. Orochimaru was not here to destroy Konoha today. Konoha will fall, but firstly, there was things that he wanted. As he smirked when Mito arrived. As Mito's eyes were switching from the normal color to red, as she was starting to get more and more angry. Over to the other side, Sahara had completely ripped Kidomaru apart. Orochimaru knew that it wasn't much longer before someone found out that this was going on. So he gave everything. He came down on Gurren like a monster. Naruto had fought her half serious once, and she felt how strong he was. While Orochimaru did not possess the powers that Naruto did because Naruto's abilities were destructive and chaotic and could incinerate a person, Orochimaru was slippery. Despite her crystal release, she got several slashes. She was stabbed in the side with a graze of the blade. But that was enough for the poison to work as she collapsed down to the ground, black markings spreading out of her body. As Mito jumped in and started to face off against Orochimaru, but he dealt with her harshly. He slammed the seal on top of hers when she started to focus too much on the Kyuubi's chakra, as this was her first time getting so angry. Mito cried out in pain. The seal was able to subdue her though, the 5-pointer seal. Kushina forcefully got to her feet. "Let go of my daughter, you bastard!" she yelled. She pulled her blade from a tree and rushed towards him. Her chakra was out of fluctuation because of the poison. But despite the pain, she should be on her knees right now, unable to move. She thrust her blade. Orochimaru knocked her blade out of her hand as he backhanded her away. "Your husband was a pain in my side, and here you are, one as well." He moved forward and drove his blade directly in her chest, through her heart, as he held on to the unconscious Mito. Kushina looked down as she coughed up blood, as he ripped the blade out, as she collapsed, unmoving, unblinking. On the other hand, the moment Mito arrived, Gurren wanted to do this, but the poison in her system was messing with her chakra. She was trying her best as Orochimaru watched her, trying to send chakra to her fingers. "You think that amount of chakra will help you," he said. He walked towards her, until he started to sense the others coming. One of those chakra was Jiraiya. That he couldn't allow. He had already sent the Edotenses away. With that, he brought his hand up toward a seal on his wrist as he pulsed chakra into it. Upon sending the signal away, his body poofed away along with Mito. Gurren's fingers were barely glowing at this point. Once, she felt it as she was in agonizing pain. Her eyes felt like they were about to close. The poison being too much. As she slammed her hand on her shoulder where the seal was, her seal started to glow brightly to call Naruto. She hoped it was enough. Her chakra was too messed up with the poison coursing through her as she collapsed unconscious. It was then that several ninjas arrived. Jiraiya's eyes went wide as he saw Kushina on the ground bleeding out. It was then that a massive fox rushed in the area, its eyes surveying everything. "Where is she? Where is she?" said Sahara. She glanced around, but they could not understand. All they saw was pure rage, anger in the fox's eyes. It was then that Karin landed. "Gurren!" she cried out as she rushed towards her. She didn't know that things were this bad. Why didn't she call Naruto? It was then that she felt Gurren's chakra. It felt all messed up. She couldn't, as Karin rushed over, as she saw black markings spreading across her body. Same for Kushina. As more and more ninjas arrived on the scene, Itachi arrived on the scene, followed by Hiruzen as well, as they had driven back most of the opposing forces away. Kankuro and Temaru were still unconscious on the ground. Their brother was taken by Orochimaru. A few minutes earlier, as Naruto was by himself, he was trying to feel out where the Gedo statue was. He had sent the girls to Konoha and told them if it was something they could not handle, they should call him, and he trusts in their judgment, so if they were to call, he would arrive. But for now, he was trying to find the Gedo statue so that he could prevent the world from being destroyed because of him bringing back this damn woman. But so far, he could not find the damn thing. Hagoromo was right. It was like he was hiding away from him. It was then that he felt a sensation in his heart. It was almost like he had just felt pain. Something had just stabbed him or something like that. He got to his feet, shaking his head. Cutting the chakra flow from around him that he was trying to use to find the Gedo statue. It was then that he felt the burning sensation in his palm as he looked down. The kanji for help. His eyes went wide. He was about to move off until she appeared in front of him. Naruto was angry. "Get out of my way," he said, as Kaguya merely smiled. "Why are you so angry?" she said, her tone coming out soft. He had no time for her. "Is it because that woman is dead?" Naruto froze. Kaguya glanced up towards the heavens. "I can see it. I can see it all. Let me show you." She moved over towards him and tapped him on the forehead, her hand literally phasing through him as she went. He felt the sensation, but it also phased through his head, showing that she was getting more and more in touch with the world. As Naruto saw the flashes quickly in his mind of Orochimaru stabbing Kushina, Kaguya had been surveying what was going on, while he was currently in the process of searching for the Gedo statue, cutting off himself to the outside world, waiting for one of those girls to send back a signal. But things worked out perfectly in her favor. That girl got stabbed with that poisonous blade, and that other red-headed woman got stabbed directly in the heart. The poison on that blade was truly a magnificent one. The poison already injured her from the inside, from the stomach, and the stab to the heart had ended her life. Upon seeing that, Naruto's eyes went wide as he saw Mito was taken by Orochimaru. Something inside of him just snapped. Kaguya vanished as Naruto destroyed the entire place. Well, more like his chakra did. As Naruto opened a portal and jumped right in it, Kaguya smirked. There was no going back now. It was happening. She was waiting for something like this to happen. This was perfect. Meanwhile, Hagoromo was panicking. "No, no, no, no," he said. "Damn it," he cursed. This was bad. This was really, really bad. "Brother?" Hagoromo turned. To his surprise, it was Hammer. "Hammer, how did you crack?" The place started to break. "What's going on?" Hammer said, as he felt the power. "Wait, don't tell me. Is this..." As the both of them felt the power, as Naruto arrived at Konoha and landed, Itachi and the others were shocked when they saw him just arrive. Naruto Karen called out. Sahara turned her head, but Naruto did not pay them any mind. His face was invisible pain, it seems. Naruto was trying to hold it back, but he could not. Something inside of him had just snapped. All of that power that he has been holding back, it was trying to come out. He couldn't. He couldn't allow it. But Kushina was dead. Mito was taken. Everyone was blown away, except for the three closest to him, that being Karen, the two bodies on the ground. Everyone else, by accident, their bodies were sent sailing. Lucky it was not a force to kill them, but enough just to blow them away. "Naruto, calm down," said Karen. She knew that this was not a time to tell him that because of the situation, but he was doing too much. "I can't," he said, as he couldn't control it. The power that he's been holding back all this time, it was fighting to come out. He knew a technique to bring back Kushina. It would cost him some of his life force, but he didn't care. As Naruto slammed his hands together, his Renitensegan pulsed to life. A massive demonic thing appeared behind him as Karen froze when she saw it. She could see it being this close to him. It had the same eyes he had. Its mouth was gaping wide with 1,000 rows of teeth inside. A hand came out of the mouth and plunged Naruto back as it sucked on his life force. It was then a green spectral came from the mouth and flew into Kushina. Kushina's body was healed, the poison was purged. Naruto slammed his hand on top of Guren's chest as he forcefully sucked the poison inside of his system. It was unable to survive in there. His body was too versatile and powerful. But he made a mistake. Upon bringing back Kushina, upon sacrificing some of his life force, he was unable to hold it back. Kaguya laughed in joy. She knew that this would happen. As not to mention he was in the village. The crystal around his neck had shattered the moment he saw the vision. He did not even notice. Power started to ooze out of him. The dark, corrupted power of the Jubi. The seal up above. Kaguya smiled as she watched everything breaking apart. The entire atmosphere, the world itself started to go through climate changes because of his power. She marveled in it. This was not their pathetic ninjutsu or their senjutsu. This was shinjutsu. From the moment she had felt his power, she had known that he was the one. And this power, it was just so amazing as she watched her prison crumble away around her. It was finally time for her to return, with her beloved husband at her side. She could already feel his power spreading. Soon enough, they will arrive. But with him by her side, she would crush them all. But it happened a bit sooner than she expected. Well, she didn't know yet. A powerful individual that wasn't even on Earth opened his eyes. There was no mistaking it. This power. Kinshiki, the large man, walked towards a supposed leader. Yes, Lord Momoshiki, he said. Do you feel that? As Kinshiki nodded. Shall we go to see what it is, my lord? Of course. I want to know exactly what this is. As the two Otsutsuki made their way towards the elemental nation, not only that, a strange place, a desolate place. It didn't seem like any human life form were there, but something else resided at that place. Pure, untapped power. This power did not belong to anyone on Earth, not even Naruto. It was something else. Something that had surpassed the limitations of having a normal human body. This was a god. The god of the Otsutsukis, Shibai Otsutsuki, who had left his body behind to transcend to a higher form of life. The Otsutskis always aimed to be perfect, and he had become perfect. Never, for the thousands of years, has something alerted him. Never has he felt a power that alerted him before. Kaguya didn't know what Naruto exactly was. Even Hagoromo all speculate that Naruto was just a piece of the god tree. Yes, that was true. But the thing was, this has never happened before in history. The tree was what created the fruit, and Naruto was that very same tree. They didn't know the full extent of what he was, but soon they will find out. Because despite Kaguya boasting, despite what Hagoromo thought, Naruto was far beyond their expectations. And they will realize that very soon. As Naruto had snapped his mind, unable to control that much power that he was holding back for years, it finally exploded. And now it was time. And yet he was still not complete. But Kaguya was now free, as her prison broke, and Naruto's life force had been removed by summoning the King of Hell to revive Kushina. Despite how strong he was, the thing had sucked a lot of your life force to revive a person. Normally, it would have killed the Rinnegan user. Perhaps if you were strong enough, you could have held it, but normally most people die. Cut and done, but Naruto was too strong to die by that. But now Kaguya was free, and two Otsutsukis had felt the power, and they were coming. Mito was captured. What is Orochimaru planning? But you guys gonna have to find that out next episode, because this is where I'm gonna come to an end with this, guys. I really hope you guys enjoy. I just want to say once again, thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, stick around for the what ifs coming your way, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But I'm out for now, see you guys soon. Peace.